here. Did this live just a moment ago. So if you see me pop up again and you say, hey, we just talked about this, I apologize. Well, you probably didn't watch me because you probably couldn't hear me because my mic had slid down. So, but here at GATS 2018, walking around, talked to one of my past customers, and he mentioned something. He talked about what he really appreciated working with our drivers is that they built strong relationships. And I asked him, what are some of the things that they did for that? And then that got me thinking. I went back and circled back around to the others that I had ran into over the past couple of days and asked them the same question. And there were three that really jumped out. Well, there were four, because what I'm also going to do is I'm going to give you a Rockstar bonus tip here at the end of it that jumped out. Now, there was one other that actually, to me, is not really a tip. It is be professional. So that was something that everybody said, that our drivers and our owner operators were extremely professional and great to work with in that respect. I believe that is just a given. That's over the top. If you're watching this video, if you're doing things to try and improve your business, you're probably already acting like a professional. So that's not even one of the tips. So the first one, let's jump into it. The first one is over communicate. Make sure you are, especially starting out, and a lot of these things really happen, starting out, you do them right off the bat and it's great, is over communicating, letting them know when you're picked up, when you're delivered, if, when you're loaded, all those things in transit. If it's going to take over a day, saying, hey, send them an email saying, hey, I'm shutting down for the evening. I'm 120 miles out, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be up. Here's the plan. Here's my process of what I'm going to do. Make them feel like you are concerned about their freight and their business, and communicate that to them. Now, side note to that, find out what is the best way they want you to communicate. You may find that some want you to update their portal or something like that, but just make sure that you're communicating, you're over communicating to people when you get started out. The second one is remember the personal details. Had someone mention to me that what he really liked about our drivers was the fact that many of them remembered and would ask them about their baby even 6 to 9 months after the fact. And that was actually brought up because as I saw him, I walked up and I said, man, it's been a while. How are you doing? Man, that little boy, man, he's about 3 years old right now. And he's actually, almost 3, 2.5. And then as we were talking and I asked him this question, I came back around. That was one of the points that he brought up, is that our people remember those. Now, I'll tell you this is, because I had built a stronger relationship with him over the year and visited him personally, I remembered a lot more details than I probably would about other people. And I'm terrible about that. So keeping like a Google Sheets or some kind of spreadsheet where you can have some of those information, sometimes even if you see a company that you haven't worked with in a while, it'll help you spark your memories about the person you wanted to talk to, or something about them. So those little details maybe you put down in a note section are great to help you remind if you have that problem. The third thing is make working with you easy. Now this ties into the communication. Find out how they want you to communicate. But the other thing is what I was hearing from people like DAT and others out there that have tools that brokers and truckers and owner operators use, is that, and we see this all the time too, is like macro point tracking or any kind of tracking, is drivers saying no, they won't do it. Not just drivers, but owner operators saying no, they don't want to do that, or they're going to charge more for it. How is that making working with you easy? You just made working with you harder, and you're now moved down the list on somebody they want to work with, right? Yeah, the comment to people saying you need to pay me more. Now, if you're already got the rate that you believe is valuable and they're going to make your life easier, you're going to make their life easier, and they're going to pay for that already, why do they need to give you more money to have you do less work? Why do they need to give you more money for you to make their life easier? It should be something that you look to do anyways. If you're doing the over communication, this is something that you don't have to worry about. So make sure you're doing that stuff. Now, the bonus tip here, if you want to be a relationship rock star out there, take your top customers, go visit them. Take some money, go, if you have to, maybe take a trip, you get parked, grab an Uber, grab a Lyft over there. take them out to lunch, breakfast, even if you just drop in for 10 minutes to introduce yourself. Let them know you're coming and see the best time to do it. But take that time, even if you lose a day of revenue, if they're a good customer and they're getting you to the right shippers and carriers that respect your time, they are, when you do have something that goes wrong, it's not a battle for detention, layover, out of route miles, extra stops, things like that. That just automatically happens. They are making you thousands and thousands of dollars by allowing you to work, even if they're paying you a good rate, by not wasting more of your time or compensating you for your time when something does go wrong. So get out and visit. You can afford it. Maybe if it's something you know you're not going to be able, because of where they're at, you're not going to be able to get out and visit for a while, send them something. We used to love sending Sherry's Berries because we got such a huge positive response on that. So send them something like Sherry's Berries out there. So the top 3 things were, to kind of go over this: over communicate. Make sure you're over communicating in the fashion that they want you to communicate in. The second thing was, remember the personal details. Don't just make it all about business, and remember that and ask them. And when you call, ask them questions about that. Third thing is, make working with you easy. Nobody wants to work with somebody that's difficult. I'm sure we all have customers that are a pain to deal with, and they're not the first person that you call, right? So make sure that you are making it so you're the first person to call. And then that Rockstar tip, get out there, make sure they remember you, whether that's getting out and visiting, sending them something, sending a nice note card. Hey everyone, thank you. Make sure you hit subscribe down there, hit the little bell button for when the live videos come up so you can see that stuff. Love to see your comments on what you do to make sure you build strong relationships. Thank you very much.